when he was 13, it was actually Teachers Day. Yeah, so I was there. I was part of the school's
Parent
support
volunteer.
group. Yeah, parent volunteers. I was actually leading the parent volunteers there. And then so he was fine and everything. I was doing stuff, and then we came home. And then that particular day dia macam lemau. Yeah. So he doesn't really take naps, and that particular day he lemau. Then I was like, okay, I think maybe he's just tired lah. Pasal full day in school dia buat therapy and dia buat his PT. Then tidur. So dah tidur. Then I told the helper, because at that point in time, I had my third child. So I was taking care of him for about 10 years before I got my third kid. Yeah, and because of that, then we got a helper lah. So Bibi helped to take care of my son, and she loved him very much. And then that particular day, so usually she'll bathe him and everything. But then I told her, Bik dia nak tidur, then I tidur dengan dia lah. Dah tidur, lepas tu bangun just nice, because I'll pick up my youngest. Then nanti tengok timing, just nice I still can bathe him. So I mandikan dia. Then say, Bik, dah mandikan dia, nanti you kasih dia pakai baju lah. Then I went to pick up my youngest. So balik tu everything seems fine, tapi ya Bibi kata, ma'am, Izhar macam tak nak makan. Saya agak dia penat lah, Bik, tak apalah. So then that particular day also, alhamdulillah, for some weird reason, my youngest used to macam susah nak tidur. But that day he slept at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Macam that's tidur. Okay. Then I also dah terlelap my son. And usually kalau dah lepas tu I will always go to Izhar, say tidur dengan dia. I mean like put him to sleep a while, and then my husband, because Izhar had night fits at one period of time. So my husband then started to sleep with him instead lah. So then I take care of the baby. So I think about 8 plus, suddenly my husband woke me up. I said, Izhar macam very weird. So went over to the next room. I think kan, I said, then he was actually he was actually very cold. He was very cold, and then he was like having cold sweats. So for us at that point of time, we didn't think too much about it. Pasal he usually have cold sweats when perut dia sakit. So I asked him, abang sakit perut okay, abang berak, is it? Okay, ada abang berak lah. Then after he really berak. So dia dah berak semua, then kita nak kemas. So I was cleaning him up, then suddenly dia muntah. So when he vomited, that was the part whereby I told my husband, okay, that's it. We better send him to KK right now. Yeah. So that particular period, I think because it was going to be September halls. So it's long holiday month. So okay, I always call this period as in a very mashallah period. Yeah. Because when we decided to bring him to the hospital, I think it was about 8 plus, almost 9, I think. So my husband took a car, and then we drove, and then we stay in Pasir Ris. So from there we went through KPE, and then the Bukit Timah and all that, right? So KPE has the underground tunnel, and Izhar loves the underground tunnel. So every time he will look up. So at that point of time when we carried him, lemau. Then macam he was so weak already. He was lying, and I was sitting beside him, so macam at the door, and I was holding on to him. Then after dia macam lemau. Then when we pass into the KPE, tiba dia macam angguk dan tengok the lights. Then I said, okay, abang, you wait first. We need to go to go to the hospital, you know. Then after and that day, the road was so clear. Like macam tak ada kereta. So my husband was just driving.
What time was it? It's night already, right?
Dah malam,
Almost 9.
Almost 9, I think, around there. So drive and then after that, almost leaving KP, then he macam lemah balik. Then I istighfar and everything like that. I say, ni macam lain aja lah. But I mean, we don't know lah kan.
Yeah.
So drive all the way. Then we're leading out to BKA nak masuk KK hospital, we had to turn left. There's this junction macam zebra crossing. Tiba dia macam terperanjat.
Okay.
So dia macam shouted, and then after that he just slide down because dia dah tinggi. So his leg can be on the slightly off the floor. He pekik, then he slide down. I said, bang, no. So I thought that maybe he knows we're going to the hospital. Dah lama tak pergi kan. So I angkat dia and everything. Then I said, okay, bang, no, I think you're not feeling well. We go see doctor, okay? Then after that, my husband drove down. So drove down. And then there's to A&E, there's that bump, right? When my husband drive over the bump, then suddenly Izhar macam like tarik nafas. He just macam terpanggul. Yeah, he literally did that. And then after I could feel like his breath just macam go off.
Faded, like macam
Dah very slight. So I was like, okay. So I told my husband, faster, get in front of A&E right now, you know. And then went inside there, and then this was my medical drama moment. So my husband apa ni? He nak
Kereta.
drive kereta. Yeah, he want to drive forward. I said no, you stop right in front of the door. Dia buka ada kereta.
Tu you
dia keluar.
lari dokong.
So I said you come out right now. Just leave
Just
the car.
stop, just stop.
Yeah, just stop. He came out. Lepas tu dia come over to me, dia angkat Izhar, then lepas tu masuk straight. I think the nurse saw like, where I think usually they will ask you, take your whatever. Yeah. So the nurse saw, and then she was like, she didn't say anything. She just directed us to A&E, to the CE lah, to the emergency room. They put in and everything, and then of course doctors will start asking, oh, mommy, how is Izhar? But he's a long-term patient mah, so there's a lot
They
of
have all
things,
the records.
all the records, but they still need to ask you certain questions, and then I think after the doctor asked me 2 or 3 questions, the next thing I heard was code blue already. So code blue, literally I stand there, and then they were like, mommy, do you want to wait outside? No, I'm going to stay here. Yeah, so I say, is there anyone else? Say, yeah, my husband's parking the car. So just let him in lah. So when they code blue only, I saw everyone all come in, like literal another medical drama moment. Wow, all come in. Then they close the curtains, and I was like, okay, just case whatever it is, and we could hear everything like literally happening behind the curtains. Yeah, and then there was like I think for a good, I think almost half an hour or so, they were just trying to resuscitate him.
You can hear everything.
Yeah, everything. So I think one of the things that they give is all the medications. So literally there was one moment where I hear them like, okay, this one 5 mils. Okay, after a while, here 5 mils again, and then 5 mils again. I was like, okay. My main concern was, could they find his veins? Because his veins are so thin and fine already that it's very difficult for regular doctors to find veins. So usually we always find a specialist. So Nipa, you tell me 5 mils, 5 mils, 5 mils. I'm like, mana diorang pump this medication inside him? So yeah, so at that point of time, my husband was already inside there, and I was just waiting. And I think I think one of my IG posts I actually put up was one of the intubating equipment. It was just thrown on the floor. Yeah, so macam dia was just rushing and everything like that. And then I still remember, because I wasn't wearing any watches or anything, I was looking at the clock and I was like, okay, 10 o'clock. Then next thing I know, I think the doctor opened the curtains and they were like, Mummy, Izhar is critical, but he's stable, but he's still critical. We want to push him up to the ICU. Are you okay with that? I say, yeah, just go. Yeah. So when we went up, my dad actually was there already. So my dad dah melala. Then they were like, can my dad come along with me? I said, yeah, of course. So the 3 of us went up. They put Izhar in. And then when he was at the ward there, then it was a situation whereby the nurse was like, oh, mommy, do you have extra diaper? Because I think Izhar berak or something like that. They said, oh, okay. Then that was like, my husband was like, okay, I go and take. The car got diaper. So macam kelakar, I say, okay.
Asal tak ada hospital?
Yeah, but I think because usually they want to clean up the kid just in case, if anything. So they want to make sure he's clean, takut macam kotor. So, okay, but at that point of time macam, okay, asking me for diaper, okay, never
Nak
mind.
kena pergi ambil
Yeah.
jauh-jauh.
So after my husband sent the diaper over, then we had to wait at the waiting area lah. So if you're asking me at that point of time, how is it that we were feeling? So I can only say that this, I guess, was the moment we were kind of prepared for. Yeah, because so to be fair, when Izhar was 10, after I think 7, then he was 10 years old, he was actually diagnosed with heart failure.
Okay.
Yeah. So with the heart failure, because of his condition, he's non-mobile, non-verbal, right? So for the doctor's perspective is, what is his quality of life? Yeah. Because when you have heart failure, the only other way to deal with it is to have a heart transplant. And we want to put him through that. Yeah. So we actually did a advanced care plan with the hospital. And I recommend all parents, you should reconsider, if anything, because it actually made us really ask difficult questions like, what do you want to do if these things happen? So during that process, we actually had that clarity that, we didn't want Izhar to have any more surgeries, and then we just wanted things to continue lah. So we waited, and then after a while, one of the doctors ran out. And she went out like, Mommy, Izhar collapsed again. So we're trying to revive him right now. So like, okay. Then doctor ran back in. Then my father was like crying.
Inside your heart macam dah. I
think at that point of time, it was kind of a reda moment lah. Yeah, macam like, so I asked my husband, are you ready to call it? And he said, yeah, I think we just let it be. I think that's it lah. Let's let Izhar live in a good space lah. So the both of us got up and then we walked over to the ward. To the ICU room lah. So at the exact moment kita sampai depan tu bilik tu, curtain open. Then the doctor came out and the doctor said to us, Mummy, they said, yeah. Anyway, doc, I think his heart is at his maximum rate. His heart is at his maximum. So I was like, okay. Anyway, we're here to tell you that you all can stop. Yeah. So we did that, and doctor was like, Mommy, I think you're making the right decision.
Oh.
Yeah. So she went back in, and then after that, my husband could still see macam dia ternampak the nurse was like doing the resus and everything like that. So when they finished and then doctor settled, I think called for his time of death and everything, and then came out. I think the first thing I asked the doctor was, can I just know what time you call for his time of death? So they said, 12 midnight. I was like, first thing I thought, wah, bang, you pandai, alhamdulillah, no. Because that day was a Thursday. It happened on Thursday night. He passed on, literally, they called for him on Friday. So I was like, mashallah, like, if God wanted to plan this for us, then I think this was one of the best thing that he could give me. I don't know, on this day of all days, on Friday. So I think moving after that, then of course we had to settle all his discharge and all that stuff. And so I think I said this is like really a mashallah moment for me, because that was then, right? And then when we wanted to clear the jenazah dia lah, then the doctor was like, I was asking, can I bring him home? And the doctor was like, I don't think you can bring him home, no, mommy. I was like, really? But we are Muslims, ma. Then I think, I'm not sure, but usually we have to put it in the mortuary and everything.
Oh.
Then the next thing I know, so Isha, after they finish, usually when this kind of situations, they will clean the kid up and then we did the jenazah and everything, and then settle him properly lah, so the parents can go and see them, right? So the next thing I know, this nurse keluar. Then this nurse Melayu. So alhamdulillah, she came out. No lah, doctor can bring home. This one can bring home one. The doctor said, oh really? Say, yeah. Can
Nurse
bring
lagi pandai dia.
I think because
Nurse lagi pandai dia, doktor.
So I think culturally maybe they were not very aware of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so I was very thankful because kebanyakan semua Cina. And this nurse was a Malay nurse, came out. No doctor, so I can go back on. Then I said, oh okay. Then I asked her, so what do I need to do? I said, you dah telefon van jenazah. They said, yeah, I think dah settle. I said, okay lah, kalau dah settle, then insyaAllah about 2 hours later you can bring him home. I said, oh really? I said, yeah, you just make sure you settle everything. I settle my paperwork for you, and then they can bawa dia balik. I said, okay. Then that was that. So after that, we saw him, and I was like, I mean, he looked very peaceful. He looked very calm, and I was like, wow, bang, you handsome. They pushed him out. Then there is this special room that they have a holding area for the families to wait with the child. And for KK at least, what we have seen, I mean, in the 1 year I've been there, I've seen quite a few, right? So they usually cover as in like the child is in another space. So dia tak nak kasih orang luar nampak lah. So I was very thankful also, maybe because it's midnight. So that particularly tak ramai sangat orang. So
That one is during COVID
tak, it was just
Before?
this was 2 years ago. He was 13 when he passed on, so it's 2022.
COVID
Just
dah
after.
habis lah.
Dah habis,
Okay.
yeah. So very alhamdulillah lah. So really alhamdulillah. So he went there, and then they transferred him to the bed and everything. So he looked like he was sleeping. So by that point of time, I think we recalled whoever was going to come over. My mother-in-law came, some of our friends came and all that. And we were just waiting lah to settle.
Abang dah habis dah, abang punya fight.
Abang you chill already. You know.
Dari baby abang fight.
Yeah. So he's
13 years.
our fight.
13 years off.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine my child going through all those things. For 13 years.
And dia tidur.
Tidur. Yeah, alhamdulillah he slept, and then so we were waiting, and I learned new things that day.
I
Like,
tak boleh imagine apa dia rasa bila dia dekat dalam kereta tengok.
Yeah. So I think he's looking at his last. Oh, this is my last life.
Lepas tu yang dia just slide down and you can rasa.
You felt you felt him leaving.
Yes.
I think my husband was the one. Yeah,
Okay.
because he was the last one to carry him. So when I asked him, he actually said that dia boleh rasa macam ishamin nafas macam macam ikan-ikan.
Macam nyawa-nyawa
macam
ikan.
macam nyawa ikan. So and he could feel like macam it was very tipis. So I think that was the exact moment when after he put him down, like I said, once he put him down, and when the doctors asked me questions, and when he called Code Blue, I think that was really flatline already lah. That was when everybody came down. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So so the journey from then was another beautiful one for me, because what happened was that a social worker has now, everything now, the process is they actually have a social worker to come support you. So I learned something new from the social worker. Oh, DevCert sekarang boleh online. So I was like, oh really? And then so okay, I'm talking
Meaning
this,
you register online.
yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So when, okay, I mean you're seeing,
But actually easier lah. I mean like
It
you
is,
dah
it is.
nak kena pergi, you dah.
yes, very much easier.
Okay.
So when I am like this, when okay, how you're seeing me like this was
Yeah,
basically
you keep on
I
macam
was-
you kuat.
Alhamdulillah. Banyak kali aja dengar dia
Daripada
cakap,
cerita tak ada
Alhamdulillah.
apa-apa, tak rasa apa-apa tau. Macam
Senyum.
I think
Senyum.
semua orang boleh agree dengan I, takkan boleh expect that this is dia punya ending. Macam ingat macam
Because
Hakimah.
macam you know, pergi sekolah,
Ah.
carry school bag and all, and he was 13 years old. 13 years old masih, pada I masih cute. You know, like they're not really like teenage. They're still
cusp on the
kiddie, you know, they're still cute. Budak-budak sec 1 kan macam cute-cute kan, macam sebelah abang-abang kan, dan orang macam kecil-kecil.
Dengan
you
seluar
know.
pendek. Wow.
Yep. So that was how it happened.
Still
at
a
that point of
little
time.
baby. Macam
And you remember macam mana dia keluar, macam mana dekat hospital you nampak dia lagi macam tengok another baby sebelah dia. Wow. Ni really I rasa macam bila you nampak dia tidur tu, rasa macam finally you tidur in peace.
Yes.
Allah Ta'ala pun nak kasih you dengan husband you berehat daripada ni semua. Physically, mentally, emotionally drained. So, it happened at the right time lah. I mean like Allah Ta'ala tahu bila
Yeah.
nak jadi
like
kan.
you said lah, Jumaat, you know, like then urusan semua hari Jumaat.
Everything. And not only that, when we brought back the jenazah, this particular ustad, I'm so thankful to him. On the way back, he actually asked my brother-in-law, because my brother-in-law followed the van, ni nak mandikan tak? Like, dah sampai rumah nak mandikan tak? So when my brother-in-law called me, I was like, yeah, I mean, of course, I don't want to drag. And we reached home at 2:30.
Oh,
2:30
2:30 AM.
a.m.
Mandi terus.
Mandi terus. And I thought it was quite new to me, because usually people will. So this ustad was, alhamdulillah, I'm very, very thankful to him. He asked, and I was like, yes, please go ahead. And then and by the grace of God, everyone who, okay, Isha, I have very, very strong support system, alhamdulillah. I think I could only make it this far, or I'm here who I am because of all these people. If not, otherwise, I don't think I can be in this space. And all his caregivers actually came to mandikan dia.
Wow.
Yeah. So the
Memang dia
mandikan,
disayangi.
yeah, all the people who sayang him, really, everybody was there. Adik also was there. He was
At
actually awake
2:30 a.m.
in the morning. Dan mandikan dia semua, then this ustad. And I was very thankful also, because as I said earlier on, my greatest fear was his veins. Yeah. And I only saw 2 tebuk at his shins. Yeah. And I think that was where they actually pumped the medication. So I didn't see anywhere else. Everywhere was like bersih. MashaAllah, I was so thankful for that. And then when after the mandikan semua, dia dah siapkan semua, then ustaz nak kapankan kan. After he came out, I was like so grateful. I was like, MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah. Member keluar, Al-Izhar came out macam budak tahfiz. He wrapped him up so beautifully dengan dia punya
Dengan
like
songkok tu, macam sarban.
And it's with one kain. So I was like, wow, I had no words. I was like, thank you Ustaz for giving me this last look of his, which just suited
So
his
dignified,
very-
so
very, he was so putih, so nice, and then literally macam, to me it was glowing lah. Yeah. And then and the timing that ended, I'm so thankful. So because it was 4 a.m. It ended exactly at 4 a.m. I was like, wow, this is like the last third of the night.
Dia macam tiba-tiba tau. Tadi you tidur
time
dengan dia.
time tahajud.
Yeah.
Tak.
Dia
She
macam dah
tidur,
ready, you
you
know, dah-
tidur dengan dia
dah-
siang. Lepas tu terus you balik you tengok dia weak. Habis you baring dengan dia. Lepas tu
You had the final most intimate moments with him.
Yes.
You and your husband. Macam
So, I mean, I think if I am where I am in this space right now, I think because I can never be thankful enough for what was given. Because his last journey was sad. I mean, definitely. But at the same time, I think it's really him going back to where he's supposed to go to. And the last moments that Allah gave us was something whereby I'm like, why am I even worthy of this? You know, because how it panned out so, mashallah, in that sense. And then even when he I mean, because it was Teachers' Day. It was Teachers' Day. And I felt so bad because I had to tell all his teachers. And he is like macam teacher's pet. Yeah, so literally when the teachers came down about at a certain timing, they were like, "Mommy, what happened? He was so good yesterday. He was so." A lot of people are shocked because it's like, did something happen? And I'm like, I can't tell you because nothing really happened. I guess it was just his time. And from the burial and everything, the way it was all planned out. Kan hari Jumaat kan. So they left at 9. Sampai situ was hujan. That was the rainy period. Rainy period. Tapi sampai situ tak hujan. And when it was his moment to bury him, alhamdulillah, the skies cleared up. I was like,
Masya
wow.
Allah.
And then lepas tu dah habis, the ustaz gave such a lovely, I think I would call it eulogy lah, macam like, you know. And I was like so thankful. And then I was short, sweet. And then dah habis, balik hujan balik. Hujan balik lagi. Lepas tu sampai rumah kita, tempat is like exactly at 12 p.m. And all could go for Friday prayers.
In 12
Yeah.
hours,
Yeah.
everything.
Semua settle.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Settled.
So this Teachers' Day will be
This
2
Teachers Day
years,
will be 2 years, about like 2nd September. Yeah. Yeah.
So how you, I mean like for you you dah go through this journey. There's something that I believe you can share with other parents, like macam going through the same thing. Is there anything macam yang you can, macam they can reach out to you, any platform ke that macam diorang can share?
I think I mean, it's been 2 years. Of course, I wouldn't say that I'm not grieving because grief is something that will never go away.
Correct.
But I guess it's at the same point of time whereby how will we be managing the grief, you know? And I don't want to put down anyone who's still grieving anyone for that 2 years, 3 years, that kind of thing. But I feel that I think it's on us also to kind of realize where is it that we want to go. Yeah, I think the one thing that really helped me the most to elevate my strength lah, I would say, it was the story of that the fact that Isha will be and the one who will be taking care of all these children is Nabi Ibrahim.
Yes.
I mean, that was the most beautiful story. I mean, I'm not a very learned person, but to read and then to actually know that, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
him and him. I was like,
Belajar.
like great.
You pun tak dapat belajar dengan Nabi Ibrahim.
So I
Dengan
was like, wow,
Siti Sarah kan.
yeah, and you're being taken care of by him, you know, like which other babysitter am I gonna ask for that's gonna take care of my child and in God's paradise and
Ya
some more, right?
Allah.
So I'm like, wow, mashallah, okay lah. I mean, abang, you just wait there, you know, and then just, you know, all the members down there you have, just make sure you are the brother that is supposed to be to ensure that you take care of all these adik-adik who come later on. Yeah. So alhamdulillah, I mean, in that sense, and Isha was very, very loved. So on the day whereby they wanted to do the solat jenazah and everything, we had, I mean, for a child like him to have so many people to come and support, I'm very thankful, and I hope it's really because of, I mean, positivity has two types. It can be a very toxic positivity and a very, something that you, with intention that we hope that will come out, that will touch you in a certain aspect. I think that's where, I mean, I do volunteering quite a bit, and then after post Isha's journey, I am back to volunteering right now, and then with Hakima, we are actually with this group called Rajatul Ramadan,
Yes.
and we actually met through another volunteering hands of mine, where we actually do yearly parties for our children, and we were beneficiaries. And she was a beneficiary.
Yearly party.
Yearly parties.
You were beneficiaries, and then now
I
you
was
are.
a beneficiary, then I joined them, and then Hakima was her daughter Husna was a beneficiary for a few years, and we did, and we continued parties like, so that was when Isha was around. Even up, so now we are still doing it. So it's for about 13 years already. That's a project gift, and then Hakima started to decide to come up with something. Yeah, she founded something also, and she asked me, "Hey, Julia, you want to do together with me?" I said, "Yeah, sure. I mean, if it's in my bandwidth, why not?"
Yeah,
And we've been doing it
kebaikan.
for about 3-4 years, I think, about there. Right now, I'm also with the charity organization called Rare Disorder Society Singapore, because Isha's condition is actually a rare condition. Yeah, so these are all support spaces.
Yes.
Rare
Yeah.
disorder.
Rare Disorders Society Singapore. Yeah.
IG.
We are on IG, we have our own webpage and everything. So we are IPC charity. Yeah. So I'm heading the programs and services right now. So it was a bit difficult when it started because I was like telling my head advocate, bro, I just came out. you look for me, sure. Then I realized that the thing that I enjoyed the most was actually volunteering, because and I felt that for me, for my own personal thing, was that I see Isha in everyone.
And something that you can macam at least
Give back.
remember.
Yeah, it's I
Macam
think
be very close to
yeah,
to
it's a
him.
legacy of his. I think that I just
Yes.
want to keep on. So talking about him
Continue.
here, I mean, thank you for giving me this platform.
Yes.
It's really just about talking about him. And I think for parents who have situations, I mean, everyone is different. I think at the end of the day, it's really on how you want to manage it. And sometimes it's really, really, really very distressing. And you may not have the support from external parties. You may not have the support from your families. And people may say all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, this is your child.
Yes.
Yeah. So we see families who are in denial, and it's very, I mean, it's a bit sad to know that, because, like example, certain kids in mainstream schools, and then they are suffering from that, and then we
True.
feel that I get the face value sometimes. Sometimes parents also don't understand, because that's why they're behaving that way.
Yes.
But having a child with their ability, is best to put them in a space whereby they can be more capable. That's the reason why they are in sped schools.
Yes.
Yeah, to help them, not because they are labeled in this manner, but to help them flourish.
Yes.
Like Husna, my gosh, mashallah, this girl is what I call my energizer bunny. She is, I've seen through her journey, and she's amazing. I mean, mashallah, we never expected her to be where she is today. So we do not know what the child's potential can be. Yeah, and looking for I mean, I think for support is really find your tribe. Who is your tribe? Who are the people who's going to be supportive? Who are the people who...
And not
who-
necessarily your family members.
not necessarily family
Yep.
members. You have to see who... I mean, even in support system, we need to be mindful and learn when you are in so many different support groups, like who are the ones who are going to be supporting you proper. If you feel that's a bit too much, then you have every right to step out of it.
Correct.
Start searching. But at the end of the day, also for support systems, it's always you need to open up.
Yes.
I can give you all your resources, but if you choose not to
Yeah.
do anything, I cannot help you.
Betul.
But when you're ready, there are people here who are willing to help you.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing that parents, and don't be. I mean for me, Isha was always on the pram, right? And I always have this thing whereby it's always so difficult for us with going out with a child in a wheelchair, looking like that and stuff. And it's always how people look at us. And it's very painful. It's very tiring. It's very stressful. Imagine I'm bringing my child from home. I must take bus. People look at my son screaming. And then I must go to wherever I am. After that, I must come back home. So the journey from the beginning to the end to balik rumah is just freaking stressful. It's just so stressful. Tetapi, I realized that, okay, you just need to be thick skin. And it's not easy. It's very difficult.
Yes.
So there was moments whereby people like to stare at our kids. Yeah. So I remember
Then you
this.
stay balik ah.
I did. But
Why?
I did it
What's wrong?
No, I do it in a different way. So she was staring at my son, because my son, as I said, when he sits, he looks like a regular kid. So she's staring at him. Then I tengokkan dia. Then I was like, okay. Then I took up his hand. Then I waved. Hi. Then I put down. Then she like macam terperanjat. Yeah. So I feel that sometimes, I mean, it depends on parents, but when we have special kids, we actually want to advocate for our children because
Yes.
people don't know.
Betul.
And
Yes.
time dulu-dulu, a lot of parents may not have the capability to bring them out. And I have utmost respect for parents who are 60 years old right now and their children are 40, 50. I mean, what
Masih
kind of...
jaga, masih bawa keluar.
Yes, and masih nak ada the tenacity to do it, but they don't have the resources, because back then, 40 years ago, what do they have? And we're
Yes.
so thankful right now, and we're so
Yes.
lucky right now that, I mean, the government, there are things that we can be done better,
Yes.
but at least we have more support than what we
Yes.
had last time.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Correct.
alhamdulillah.
Orang lagi banyak faham sekarang.
Yes, yes.
There's still a lot of work to be done.
Yes.
Yes, a
Yeah,
lot.
Yeah, but we are, that's
Tapi
why the
slow-
advocating.
yeah.
Yelah, awareness tu dah
Yeah.
ada
Yes.
sikit
Correct.
tau.
Yes.
Kalau dulu tak ada.
Yeah, and I think the other thing I want to say is that when you see a child with whatever condition, I mean, if it's something, number one, first and foremost, be compassionate and
Yes.
have empathy for the family, for the parents. It's not easy. Having an ASD child, and every condition is
Different.
it has a spectrum,
Yeah.
not just ASD. Every diagnosis has a spectrum. Then it's the same thing. You have the extreme, as in the higher support one, and you have the functional children, or the very smart ones like the
Yes.
ASD. Everyone deals with different things. So just have empathy. If the child is screaming, whatever, just leave it be. We have that extra things to say. If you want to help, then ask. And then if you want to know, I think most parents, if they're in the correct space, they are more than happy to advocate. Oh, my child has this thing because of this. My child is like that because of that. Yeah, and let's be nice about it lah. And just be kind.
Do you think most parents with special needs children, because in where I live, there's always a bus that picks children up. It's a blue and one
collar.
red strip uniform, and around that area they will make a few stops like around the roundabout and all that, and I know they are special children. And sometimes in the morning there's this one particular child who always comes down around the same time as I do to send. So the mother is very smiley. So I will see her, I'll say hello, but I don't dare to greet her child because I don't want to do something out of the ordinary that might like shock him or it might trigger a meltdown. So I'm very scared to disrupt. So I will just say hi to the mother, and sometimes the mother will say hello, you wave, and I will wave. I will wave. If not, like I feel macam, can we look at them or cannot look at them, or like what do I do with my face?
Yeah, correct. Faham.
Like, kita nak smile. Should I be smiling?
For my neighbour pula, macam dah memang tak nak kita berbual. Macam boleh nampak dia punya muka macam
stress
aku nak
lah,
cepat-cepat
like,
habis,
I
aku
don't
nak
wanna
hantar
talk
anak
to
aku,
anybody.
aku nak balik macam gitu. I can see the body language dia macam gitu.
Yeah.
So I also sometimes macam
Nak buat like, how do we, because like you say, we want to create awareness, we want to be empathetic, we want to not add on stress lah.
Habis
Kan?
nak tanya ke tak
Tapi
ke?
kita nak buat apa?
Yeah.
You know, as
I think as for the public, right? Like, I mean, that you're really showing two different parents. You know, I think if I want to start with Suria's one, is like it would be either to maybe, I mean, but you know your neighbor lah. You know, so I mean, first and foremost, you may want to just ask how your neighbor is, because sometimes the stress factor may be such that when they're already facing so much stuff, you know, I want
Habis
to,
you nak tanya-tanya lagi.
I lagi penat.
Yeah.
Simple things, if not like macam, okay, kalau you masak, you hantar, you know, or something like that. Yeah, maybe just little things like to open up her heart first. Because sometimes they are so, some of these parents, they get very tired. So they just don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Anything more is less additional burden to
So
me.
tak kuasa lagi
Aku
nak
tak
pergi
kuasa.
layan jiran ni pula.
nak cakap-cakap. Aku ada banyak kerja kat rumah.
Lagi jiran ni si kepo ni kat sebelah. Apa si kepo ni nak? Asyik jalan dia tengok. Jalan dia.
Yeah, sometimes it's that. Because they think that you're looking for something.
Yeah, macam
And,
kepo gitu.
Yeah, but because sometimes and the thing about us, like I think now your question is that, you know, what are you going to say? There's a lot of thinking. Yeah, should I not? Should I not? Should I not? So I feel that if your intention, okay, I always believe in the fact that what is our niat lah. Kalau niat kita is really I want to help, then by God's grace, if that is really what we want, Allah will make it easy for us. You know, like for what Ustazah was asking, like how should we go with our face? Actually, what you're doing is great. I mean, like just saying hi to the mom, say, oh hi, you know, you're part of the circle at that moment.
Yes.
And when I think if she says like, oh, don't say hi and everything, so I'm guessing if the child is mobile and can say hi, he may be an ASD child also. I'm not sure. But if that's the case, then maybe you can just start with say, oh, what's his name? You know, I think what we want for our SPED kids, right, regardless whether they are mobile, non-mobile, verbal, non-verbal, whatever space that they are in, we just want them to be seen as a human being.
Yes,
Because
to be
they're humans.
recognised. So macam at least you tahu dia pakai nama dia.
Yeah, they are valid. They are there for a reason.
Yeah.
You're not there to be a spectacle, ma.
Yeah.
They are there to teach us.
Yeah.
Anything that they do is a teaching lesson for us.
Yeah.
You know,
Like how you
anything.
teach us a lot of things today.
Yes, a lot.
Honestly,
Kita dah
I
belajar
tak ada benda
doktor.
nak cakap.
Kita dah belajar doktor.
I speechless dari tadi.
I tak tahu nak
I
cakap
cuma
apa.
boleh
because-
mampu menangis saja. I macam
Zakia tadi
kuatnya.
cakap dengan I, you tanyalah soalan lagi dengan Hakimah yang hari Monday tu. I cakap, I dah tanya. Ni hari dia diam. I macam,
Because
ada
really,
lagi
I'm
ke
learning.
kat sebelah?
I sebenarnya belajar a lot.
Yes.
You know, like our children are not on the spectrum. They are normal. Macam sakit
Itu pun kita macam, dah
sakit,
sudah lah.
sakit recover. You know, like there's not like that anxiety, like what's going to happen. You don't
Yeah.
you don't
And
have
kita
that.
tahu ni 5-7 days baik.
Macam you know, like okay, this is sakit biasa. Budak-budak mesti okay lah, HFMD all this. You are worried, but it will end.
Yes.
And for you, you don't know what next. From the moment you give birth, you don't know. And there's a really a lack of control. Is somewhat of like Allah is in control. I don't know. I'm just gonna one
Tawakal.
thing at a time. You know,
Tawakal
like
dia kuat.
lepas tu dengan Alhamdulillah this happened. Alhamdulillah ada hole in the heart. Alhamdulillah, you know.
I tak faham you.
It's really like, I remember meeting you for the first time where you actually spoke
Yes.
about it. The mood was different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the mood was different because, okay, so when I first met Ustazah, I was actually, it's what I call getting on my funk. Yeah, so so one of the things that I learned after Isha passed on was when the social worker told me, because I am behaving like this when that thing happened, when the event happened. So the social worker was like, Mommy, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm fine. And she was like, you sure? I said, yeah. I said, I just need to know what we need to do next. So what's going to happen after this? So I was telling her all these steps now, and then she was like, Mommy, you're a very pragmatic person. So I was like, oh, you mean there's a term to this? Oh, you know, if that's what I am, then that's what I am. And after he passed on, I had my party, my event happening in March. So from September, October, I was just dealing with that. And I wasn't thinking too much
You
about
just
it.
surviving
You macam
again lah.
busy.
You're surviving
Yeah,
again.
just doing that. And after my event ended, that was when I just, that's it. Like I was just surviving for my 2 other kids. I was just doing what I needed to do. And I call that my Netflix binging period. Yeah, so I mean, I was not even a space to actually, okay, people always say this, right? Anak kita nak syurga. I totally believe that. But I think at the end of the day, it's us also. Yeah, I mean, how much am I putting in my effort as a human being, as a Muslim and everything? What am I doing? I'm not perfect. And that period was literally, I Netflix binge until like almost 6 months later, literally in August. I tengok satu cerita, then I was like, apa aku tengok Macam, this show got no meaning, it's supposed to be interesting, Then I gave up. Then I was like, maybe Alhamdulillah, maybe Allah just want to say, I
Allah dah tarik balik.
Dah cukup lah tu.
bangun
Cukup lah tu.
Cukup nak tengok berapa banyak lagi.
Dah habis semua cerita.
Netflix sampai habis.
Tak ada benda nak tengok.
Netflix tengok dia.
Aku boleh jadi director cerita baru. Apa ni Netflix?
So the moment I had that moment, I was like, okay, I think I need to do something about it. And then and on that day, literally a friend called me, and I've not met her for a very long time. We were epic friends, and she tiba-tiba telefon. She messaged or something like that. Say, hey, I'm on long leave and everything. Do you want to meet up? So I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, okay lah, meet up when? Because I just came out, right? So macam, okay lah, kita tunggu maybe 1, 2, 3 minggu kan. Let's do it tomorrow. I was like, tomorrow.
Aku belum habis tengok Netflix.
Then after that, okay, let's meet. I said, okay lah, since I am going to get out, I just get out lah. So get out and met them. And this was before meeting Ustazah. So when I met these 2 friends, just some talking and everything, and I was like, oh, okay, I think it's something I need to think about. And I was thankful for meeting them. Then I think another friend actually has been sharing about Ustazah's class at the Hashriwan. And then when she shared about it, I was still contemplating to go or not. Yeah, because pukul 8. Then
Friday night. Macam
Netflix. Hari Friday.
watch me.
So I was like, okay lah, never mind, let's just do it lah. So I went with a friend, and then when I went to her class, I didn't know anything about her. Like literally, I didn't know anything about her. I duduk situ. I was like, okay, let's see what's happening. And that particular class, I still remember it was about the wife of the pharaoh. That particular class, yeah. And then she was sharing about this, and then about the du'as and everything. And then this was when we were talking about your friend whom you dah lama tak jumpa. So your topic was about someone whom you may not have, you miss or you've not seen for a while. Yeah. So during the class, just before she started talking about another thing, I tengok dia my IG, dia siapa? Ustazah ni.
Betul lah.
And then I literally
legit ke macam apa? A lot of people do that because a lot of people don't know me.
And then while
Macam
doing that,
mak check.
Hakimah came in. I said, hey, you're here.
Oh, you didn't know
bukan
that
she.
Hakimah
Bukan she
goes
yang
to the
bawa.
class.
It was another friend.
Oh.
So when I saw Hakimah, I said, Masya Allah, because we were supposed to meet, I think. Yeah. I think we were supposed to meet that day.
Habis you tak pergi.
Because she had something on.
Oh, nasib baik kalau you tak pergi sebab ni.
Kan.
Again gerakan Allah
So I saw her say, hey,
Bertemukan
nice to
kat
see her.
majlis.
So she came down. Then at the same time, I tengah scroll. Then Then I saw this post that Ustazah gave, which was about grieving. I was like, whoa, does it have to be this way? All right. And then I was reading, I macam tahan. Like, okay. And I mean, the friends who were with me knew what happened lah. And then Ustazah started talking about missing someone. Then she said, to all those of you who miss someone, then for those who have lost their child and everything, I was like,
And I didn't know her. I tak tahu
Tak,
siapa.
Zaza nangis-nangis.
she was tearing, I think, because of that friend that she was missing. I think there was some on that, but I was really like, wow, why?
Dia macam betul-betul cakap kat you.
Yeah.
Tak,
Topik dia
I macam
betul-betul.
curious siapa kawan dia tu. Kejap lagi nak tanya.
I tak ingat.
It was her friend who she hasn't met for a while, and he came to Singapore.
Oh, yes.
So it was a topic about that. I think she was telling me how much she missed her friends and everything because of her experiences. So when I went to speak to her, I was like, wow, like I think I was really in a space whereby it was kind of enlightening to me. Yeah, and I was very, very thankful. You know, I mean, yeah, I need to make some more time to meet her, right? But yeah, so I was very, very thankful for that lah. Yeah, and then another beautiful moment was nak balik. Lepas tu Hakimah balik dengan
Oh, Hakimah Kim. Ya.
Kim. Korean rupanya.
Either Kim Korean atau Kim Kardashian.
Oh, wow. I tak fikir.
Astaghfirullahalazim.
kan nama glamour dia.
Glam.
Kim. Dari tadi tak cakap Kim. Susah
Hakimah.
Tak
Cakap dia
kenal
Kim.
lah kalau Hakimah tadi you panggil Kim.
Kim dengan Jules.
That's literally my name.
Oh, wow.
Kim dengan Jules.
So when I went back with her, she asked me to tumpang her husband, or stand husband. There was the couple, the parents of the lady who Kaida, Kaida's parents were in the same hall
Oh,
with us.
okay.
And then she started talking about things and stuff. And she doesn't know me either, but that was another moment whereby she was like telling me, Selawat and everything. I think they call Umi, Mama. Yeah,
yeah.
Mama selalu doakan semua. I was crying because I lost my mom. So at that moment, for me, I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, I literally had a mother in a sense, and she called herself. I call her my mom, mommy, my mom, and mommy, and she was like, no, Mama doakan semua anak Mama. So I said, wow, I don't know you, lady, and I don't know you, but here you are telling me all this, and she was really holding my hand. I was just crying at that point of time, and it was so raw at that moment. So I felt that another thing like was just God's gift in that sense lah. Yeah, I mean, if I didn't gerak hati want to do this and that, also this would not happen. So I feel that that's how I got to know about Ustazah, and it was, this will always be a thing for me lah. Like you just throw one that at my heart. Yeah, so I'm very, very thankful for that also. Yeah, I mean, I'm not always in the spaces, but I'm very thankful that Allah has planned for such spaces for me to be in, and I guess the healing came in a certain sense. I'm still healing, definitely. As I said, the grieving will not end. But alhamdulillah, in a space whereby, okay, that's it. We're going to do this. It's for Isha. It's for his legacy, and hopefully, I think the intention of this whole sessions also was actually to create awareness for that, which is what we want to do, and tell parents out there, no, you're not alone. No, we are never alone. You just need to have faith in what's happening, and no matter what happens, my personal belief is always that everything happens for a reason. Yeah, hikmah yang Allah nak kasih tu kita takkan nampak, but He will show it to you and give it to you at always the right moments. And that's when then we were like, wah, kepala otak kita kecil kita akan faham Allah punya planning dia macam mana. But if you really if we really let God lah do what He needs to do, then insyaAllah I think that's
Semua
when
fall into place.
Betul.
It's like don't doubt that He cannot this and that, because we never know what is the happenings behind it.
Correct, we never know. Kita tak akan tahu siapa kita jumpa. Like whatever I say, I really don't know who needs what. I'm just okay, this is the plan, and sometimes I divert from the slides, I divert from the topic, but like you say, kena like you were thinking about it, you did Allah made me talk that. It's not like I know how to shoot arrows and all. I
Kadang-kadang terkena.
dia datang that I cakap that, and kena dekat orang yang it's Allah gerakkan.
Melalui seseorang.
Melalui. So semoga Allah jadikan kita semua, Allah make use of us to inspire, to touch lives, like to keep going, the legacy of Izhar, to see him in other children, to give hope to parents, that strength and that experience that you have gone through for 13 years of your life for your first child. May it be pahala yang berterusan, because you are continuing, you're sharing the story, you're giving all this knowledge, so that other parents who are going through this can get some relief or comfort lah from what you have gone through, and they don't feel so alone.
Betul.
And I just want to add on, like, for parents who are still continuing their journey, do your best. Yeah, whatever you are doing is for the sake of your children. Don't doubt yourself. Come from a space whereby, you are doing this really for the sake of your kid. To your best ability. Don't beat yourself up too much. Have some grace for yourself. Love yourself a little bit more. Tak ada orang nak sayang, Allah sayang. And just know that there are people there who will be able to talk to you lah.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words and reminders for us.
All of us.
Yes, all
tak
of us.
kira anak you macam mana,
Yes.
anak is anak, and you are the parent, you do your best, and you harap Allah cukupkan apa yang you tak cukup lah.
Betul, insyaAllah. Amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin.
And truthfully, every time after jumpa dengan sesiapa pun, tak kisahlah jalan cerita dia macam mana pun, I always feel macam, ya Allah, Allah ni gerakkan macam tadi you cakap, Allah kasih I this benda untuk, macam kita kadang-kadang kita lupa bila kita tengok anak kita macam penat. Now kita macam balik macam nak, hari tu I balik macam nak minta maaf dengan husband I. Hari ni macam balik nak peluk anak I. So yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for your time,
Thank you for sharing.
Jules.
Macam
Zax.
kita semua akan belajarlah daripada ni, insyaAllah.
Yes,
Dan
yes.
semoga you
Thank you
pun
so much.
ada kasih support kepada sisters yang dengar. And thank you once again for coming, and don't forget to like
and follow
us. Yeah.
Rare, apa tadi?
Rejab to Ramadan.
Rajab to Ramadan.
Rajab
we
to
have
Ramadan.
Rare Disorder Society Singapore.
Rare Disorder
Yeah.
Society Singapore.
Cakap pelan sikit,
Ah,
Jules.
Ni Jules, you must understand.
Jules.
Yeah, I speak very fast. And Project Gift.
Project
Project
Gift.
Gift.
Okay.
Okay, we will link it up lah in our reels.
thank
Kita
you.
kita tag all this
boleh,
to give
insyaAllah.
support to the sisters who need the support. You can reach out because they are ready to support
Yes.
as long as you are ready to receive.
InsyaAllah.
Yes. So don't forget also to follow Salam Sis SG on Instagram, TikTok,
Spotify.
rate us on Spotify, send us your love and comments, send Jules and Kim your love and comments in the comment section,
Yes,
and
please.
insyaAllah they will respond to you, and we will also respond to you. Thank you so much for all your support, and may Allah make our journeys easy
Thank
in
you.
this life to Jannah. Amin.
Amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin.
With that, we end today's
This episode
session
with
with
Salam Sis.